We're going to take a look at replacing the horn or troubleshooting the horn on the 2014 Ford Focus. This one is the 5-door hatchback. It's the flex model, which means it can take the ethanol fuel or the regular fuel. If you press on the horn button and the horn doesn't work, the first thing you want to do is check the fuse and the relay. So here is the fuse box open. This fuse, the 15, the one I'm pointing to, that one is the fuse for the horn. And this relay, it's number 2, this is the relay for the horn. You can see that on the I don't know if you can see it in the light here, but there's actually a map of the fuse box on the underside of the lid. This red tool right here, there's actually a little tool in the underside of the fuse box lid. That is a tool for removing fuses. You can actually use that to grab these little fuses. The relays, that won't pull out. These you just have to actually apply a decent amount of force to pull out. If you're not sure if it's a fuse or not, if you don't want to buy a new one, you can just take one of the other ones and swap it out. These fuses, the little bus fuses, you can actually just pull them out and see if they're broken. You'll be able to see that the fuse itself is snapped in the middle. But you can try swapping these out with a different relay. Here, like this relay is the same as this relay and this relay, so you can actually just take this one, swap it with another one temporarily. If it starts working, that means the relay was the problem, and you need to get a new one. One of these controls the air conditioner. I'm not sure what the other one does. But you want to test these first. If both of those work okay, or if you swap them out and you still have the horn not working, there's a few other problems it could be. I think there's actually a switch in the horn itself under the steering wheel. That we're not going to look at today. For this one, we actually need to replace the horn. So I got this part from Ford. Surprisingly cheap as far as Ford parts go. This is about 25 bucks. And the horn is under here. It's actually kind of right under where my hand is in the bottom corner, the passenger side. So I'm going to try to jack up the car. I shouldn't actually need to take off the front bumper or anything. I'm just going to see if I can get my hands under there and do it, and I'll come back when the car is jacked up. So I have the car jacked up. Please always use jack stands. You don't want to be lying under a car if it just has a jack under it. The jack could fail and it could literally kill you. So here under the front corner of the car, you'll see the horn. It's right here. And one of the reasons that these fail is because it's so close to the ground, they can get gummed up with water or dirt or whatever else, and they just fail mechanically. What I'm going to do with this one is I have the new horn right here. I'm going to pull the wiring harness, drop it onto the new one, and just kind of dry test it, fire the horn and make sure it works. And as long as it does, I'm going to actually remove this assembly and then just bolt the new one up. If it doesn't work, then I got to look at plan B. All right, I took the wiring harness off. You see I've just got the old horn, or the new horn hanging here from the wiring harness. I tested it and it actually works. So the problem was with the old horn itself. So the replacement worked. I'm going to disconnect it. I'm going to remove the old one, bolt it up, and put the new one on. So to remove the old horn, there's only 2 things you have to do. One is you have to take off the old wiring harness. So it's actually, there's a lock clip that secures it to the hornet's assembly itself. So you got to take this clip off. I'm probably just going to pop that out with a hammer or a pry bar. There's also one, let's see if I don't know if there's only one nut or bolt that actually holds that on there, or screw. I think that's 10 millimeter. I'll check and confirm that, and then you just pull that out and the whole assembly should drop right out. You don't want it to drop out while it's still connected to the wiring harness, so remove the wiring harness first, then remove that screw, and you should be good to go to put the new one in. All right, so I got the wiring harness removed. I just have to remove this one screw here. That's a 10 millimeter. A little tip for you: it's kind of hard to get to. You can't really get a socket with an extension on there. But this whole assembly, I'm replacing the whole horn assembly. I'm just gonna take this whole thing, and it's not strong metal. I'm just gonna bang this whole thing out of the way. See? And now I got plenty of clearance where I can get a socket in there. And this whole thing's going to get tossed anyway, so I'm in good shape. All right, so the new horn is in there. I think the other one might have actually sustained some damage and gotten bent back, and that's why I had a hard time with the clearance, because this one I had a lot easier time getting just a 10 millimeter extension in there to tighten it up.
So the last thing we're going to do here, just make sure you put the wiring harness back on properly. So you can just push that clip right in there. We're going to reattach. So just make sure you put the wiring harness on. You'll hear it clip, and you're all set. It works great, and if you have to do this yourself, good luck.